In this video, I'm going to give you the entire process that I use to go ahead and build an appointment setting chatbot for an agency that's servicing real estate agents. I'm going to be walking you through step by step the planning phase. I'm going to show you a live demo of it working in real time, as well as the workflows that I use to go ahead and build this. I'm going to be going through the workflow in depth with you, building it out, so that if you want to go ahead and implement this for your business today, or go ahead and sell it to a client, you're going to have all the knowledge to have an active AI appointment setting chatbot for someone's business or for yours. So with that being said, let's start with the planning phase and I can show you how I thought about this. So a small tweak here, I actually want to show you the AI bot in action, booking in an appointment, and then we can jump into the planning phase and then the workflow. That way you can see what we're building. So we're going to have a conversation and see where the AI leads us and whether it books in an appointment. So the trigger word is demo, and then it pops the first qualifying question. I respond to that by saying it's referrals. It acknowledges and then it asks the second qualifying question. Let's give it a little bit of a hard time and see what happens. Ask it what's the price. It acknowledges that price is important and then tells me that I should speak to someone else in authority, and then moves on back to the qualifying questions, which is great. That way it's trying to get us back on track all the time. So it's conversational. It's just not like an automation that's asking steady questions. I told it what my reason is for not being able to get clients. It acknowledges that, tells me it's important to get qualified leads, and then asked me if I'd like to book an appointment. I said no, and then goes ahead and has a conversation and completely understands what problem can it address. Okay, and they said, I don't know your company that well. I appreciate your honesty. I'm happy to get you an appointment with our sales rep, and he'll be able to give you all the information, which is brilliant. You can see that it's a conversation and it's not an automation that's just popping out questions, okay? And then it goes ahead and sends us the calendar link. So let's go ahead and build this out exactly so it can perform in this way. Okay, so if we look over here at the planning phase, I have a very simple diagram laid out. It's just a walkthrough. This gives me an idea on how, when I get into the workflow, into the software, how I want to build it out. Just gives me a foundation, makes it easier than to just build from scratch. I also sometimes just start with a pen and paper, just writing it out, making some notes of exactly what the outcome needs to be and how we want it to flow inside and how we want the AI to talk. That way it just gives you an idea when you get into the building the exact project, you have a base to work off. So if we look over here, that initially we have a trigger that could be a form or a reply to a DM on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook, wherever you have people commenting a specific phrase, and then that acts as a trigger for you to go ahead and send in an initial question. So we have one question here that's going to qualify them, and how we want it to act is if there's no reply, we then want to follow up with them, and if they have replied, then we want it to go to an appointment booking bot that's going to have a conversation with them, asking them some qualifying questions and getting them to book an appointment with us. Okay. And then there's a few scenarios that we can have from them when they send a message, and that's they ask another question. So we ask them a question and they ask us something like, what's the price? And then we redirect them to the AI so that the AI can sort of answer that question or push the question aside and get back to the qualifying question. And the AI is trained to sort of just meet the objections and the questions and get back to the qualifying questions. We have a timeout, and that's if they just do not respond. If they do not respond, we then send them to a follow-up sequence. And that's just going to get them back in line to the qualifying questions so we can get them back to booking a call. The whole point is just getting them to answer those questions to see if they qualify and then get the appointment booked. Okay, that's essentially what's happening here as well. And we can see that the outcome is sending an appointment link so that they can go ahead and book in a time with us. Okay, so that's the simple outlay of how I was thinking about it. And now we can get into the workflow. I'm going to show you how I actually built it out. So let's get into building the workflow. I use the software Go High Level to build in the workflow. So you can use any other software that you'd like. However, to build this one that I'm building out, you're going to need Go High Level. It's a lot simpler and it has everything in one platform. That's why I chose it. It'll be a lot easier for you if you do the same. Okay, so once you go into Go High Level, you're going to go into automations, and we have a few builds out. I'm going to start with the simple build. That way you get a better idea. When you want to start building out, you create workflow. This is the one that I built out. Just to give you an overview of how it looks. Pretty similar to the diagram that we used. This is just a simple build. I'm going to walk you through how to build this out, and then you're going to have a better idea once I start doing so. Okay, so head over here. So we're going to start from scratch. We're going to build it out from scratch. We always want to start with the trigger, whatever it may be. If you want to use a form, you can do that. For the sake of this video, we're going to be using a DM. I'm going to click over there. We're going to add a filter, and we're going to look for reply channel, and we're going to select Instagram. And then we're going to add a filter again, and we're going to look for contains phrase, and we're going to use the phrase demo. Okay. The next step is we want to send them a DM once they get triggered into our workflow. There we go. I'm just going to copy this from over here to make it easier. All right, let's paste it in. There's no templates, and we want to save the action. Okay. We want to add a wait step. The reason you need to add a wait step is because the next step after this will not work without the wait step. I'll show you exactly why now. And we want to contact to reply to the Instagram DM, and then we want to add a timeout. You can choose whether you want it to be days, hours, or minutes. For the sake of this video, I'm going to make it 1 minute, and I'm going to save. Now, you cannot add this function without adding a wait if customer responds. It's just not going to give you the option because we're looking for contact replied, true. So that's if they do reply to us, it's going to go to this branch, and this we're going to call this branch replied. And if they do not, it's going to go to none. Okay, and that's how it's going to work. Now we want to activate the AI to have a conversation now with the prospect once they responded. So we want to type in conversation. I want to select AI over here. And now there's two options that you have. You can leave configurations off or on. I would suggest putting them on. It's just a lot better because you can go ahead and prompt the personality as well as give it additional instructions. Go High Level goes ahead and gives you a base to work out of. You can edit it to the way you'd like. And if you have a couple of services or anything that you'd like the bot to know about, you can go ahead and tell it here in additional instructions and give it the personality that you want and what's the objective, as well as any other thing that you feel is relevant to your business. You can go ahead and add it in here. There's a lot of nice conversational tips that's already added in, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, the next thing is to put in a question. So this is going to be a qualifying question. I'm just going to take it from here. Let's copy and paste it over. Right, this could be your qualifying questions, anything that you need them to answer before they go through the funnel and get onto a call with your sales rep or the client. Select the channel that we're going to be using, and we're going to add in one more branch, and that's going to be the answered question. Okay, let's type in there. Now the condition is where you're telling the AI, instructing it on how should it go to this branch and what's the condition. Person must answer the question to move here, and then we save it. Let's go ahead and name this just so that we know exactly what's going on. Makes it easier to understand from the outside. We can say first qualifying question. Cool. Save that. Save the workflow. Now, a quick hack is you can go to copy action, and paste it here, so you don't have to go ahead and do everything all over again. Let's go in there. Let's change this to second qualifying question. We're going to scroll down, and we're going to add in our second question. Okay. Let's go ahead and copy that. Paste it in there. Everything else stays the same. Exactly as the previous step, this stays the same. And then we're going to go ahead and copy it again, copy action, and we're going to paste it in. Cool. Now this is not going to be a qualifying question. However, if you do have 3 or 4 qualifying questions, then just copy the steps over and add in your qualifying questions. We're going to make this the appointment booking link. Cool. Everything else stays the same. Now we're going to be sending them the link. Okay, so let's just do this here. It'll be quicker. We say send link. We go to this tag over here, and we're going to go to custom values, and we're going to add in the link. We're going to go down, and we're going to tell the AI, instruct them to say, ask the lead to confirm with you once they booked their appointment. Cool. And I'm going to remove this branch. Delete, save action. And that's your first simple build. It's pretty simple, very straightforward. If we go up here, okay, what happens when they do not respond? We just end the workflow. What you can do is we can add them to a no reply workflow. So we add to workflow and no reply, save. So you can have a no reply workflow that everyone who does not respond gets added to this follow-up, and then they go ahead and follow up with them. Okay, so this is the simple build, and it's pretty simple. You can go ahead and implement this today. I'm going to be walking you through the advanced build and show you how we do that, and that handles a lot more scenarios than this one. Very fancy looking diagram here. It can look scary from the outside. When building it out, you don't really realize it's going to look like this, but I'm going to break it down for you, and it's going to be very simple. Okay, so this one's basically going to handle every single scenario you can think of. You're going to have an appointment setter working for you, just making sure that someone who's not qualified is being put into one category, and someone who is qualified, it's going to make sure that they get an appointment link. Okay, so the first step stays the same, the trigger. We have a DM, we wait, and there's a condition. Okay, now if they do not respond, they get sent to a follow-up AI, not a workflow, a follow-up AI. And this AI is trained to basically ask a couple of questions that's relevant to the qualifying question, and then eventually send them to the qualifying question. Okay, now let's say someone comes through, we ask them our first qualifying question, and they ask us something like, how long does it take for me to work with you? How long does it take for me to get in shape, or whatever your program, whatever your question may be, or what's the price? It then comes down to a wait period, and then it goes back to the qualifying question. It just doesn't ask the qualifying question again. What it does is it has a conversation with the prospect, acknowledges the rebuttals, and then asks the qualifying question, which is pretty cool. And if they do not respond, it then pushes them through to the follow-up workflow. And if they do answer the question, it then goes to the next qualifying question. Now, if they get to the second step, everything works the same way. Goes back to the qualifying question if no condition is met. If it times out, it goes to a follow-up AI. Now, when it goes to the follow-up AI, and let's say it's already answered the first question, it then goes to the follow-up AI, goes to this branch where the lead qualifying question has been answered already. So the first lead qualifying question has already been answered, and then pushes it to the second lead qualifying question. Same for the third one. The second has been answered, and then pushes it to the third one. Okay, so it addresses each scenario. Let's say it gets all the way down to the appointment booking link, and now they have more questions, and it goes here. They go to the further questions, appointment booking bot, and then if they continue asking more questions, it then goes down to, if they ask a question, it waits and then pushes them back to this AI. And what this AI is doing, it's basically a conversational AI that's going to handle any additional questions to the appointment link and eventually push them back to the appointment link. So if no condition is met, we still send them the link. If the time's out, we send them back to the follow-up AI. So you can see it's pretty similar. Every single step has the same layout. Okay, so this is the exact bot that we're using in the live demo. So everything that you saw is this exact chatbot. It's working perfectly fine so far. And if you go ahead and implement this for your business, you're going to have an unlimited follow-up and appointment booking setter that's going to do all the work for you. Now, there's a lot of other factors that you want to add to this workflow. For the sake of this video, the only thing that I've done is build out the appointment setting bot. However, there's a lot of organizational tags and as well as updates that you need to add to this workflow, such as updating your opportunity, the lead that comes through, adding them to a pipeline, adding them to your CRM and to a calendar. There's a lot of those functions as well, and adding notes so that whoever you're building this for, whether it's for yourself or your internal team, making sure that they're getting notified every time the prospect's moving to a different stage, so you know exactly where they are, and you can take action when needed or jump into the workflow if something goes wrong. So that was pretty cool, walking through all of that. As you saw in our live demo, that we gave the AI a pretty hard time, and he still went ahead and sent us the appointment link to get us booked in, which is pretty insane, because if you think where we were a few months back, the bots that we had were really clunky and would just say weird things. Right now, you can't even tell the difference between a human and an AI trying to book in the appointment. It understands what I'm going through. It replies to my concerns and also understands the objective, which is extremely powerful. If you want to sell this to a client or implement it in your own business, you're never going to have an issue trying to book tons of appointments. They're going to ask qualifying questions for you. The only thing you need to do is keep pouring leads in, which is extremely powerful. Now, whoever joins my Telegram group, the first 10 people, I will sit with you and build your custom advanced workflow. We never walk through it here because it will take a lot of time, but whoever needs assistance, the first 10 people, I'll give you personalized assistance and build out this custom appointment setting bot for you within your business so that you can go ahead and get started right away. Or even if you want to go ahead and sell it to someone, we'll build a template out so that you can copy and paste it into your business. And secondly is I'm trying to build a channel. So if this was helpful to you or is helpful to someone else, please go ahead and share it with them and follow me. It'll be really helpful. I know that people are appreciating the content. If you want to see anything specific, drop it in the comments and I'll try my best to go ahead and build that out for you.